Paldan, and I am the president of Mattawan's graduating class of 2017. I would like to welcome you all in joining us in celebration. But first, we must acknowledge some of the very important people we have in attendance this evening. We would like to first extend our gratitude toward the Mattawan Board of Education, as well as our administration, our superintendent, Dr. Buckler, our principal, Mr. Eastman, our deans, Mr. Mickelson, Mr. Thornton, and Mr. Waldron, as well as our director of student activities, Mr. Modi. In addition, a sincere thank you and moment of recognition is necessary for the teaching staff here at Mattawan High School. Through you, we have been able to experience and learn our passions over the last 4 years, and we thank you so much for that. 2 teachers will be leaving us this year, and in honor of their retirement, we must acknowledge Mrs. Hoyka and Mr. Hinkle. Mrs. Hoyka, the genuine care you have for every student that enters into your classroom has inspired so many to pursue a career in biological sciences. And to Mr. Hinkle, thank you so much for supporting and aiding every student through your junior achievement class, as well as the Wildcat Enterprises Scholarship. And of course, the reason that we are here tonight, to recognize and celebrate the Mattawan graduating class of 2017. I now invite all of my fellow classmates, as well as their parents, to take a deep breath. Parents, there is no way for the school to take away their diploma now. When we were initially given this assignment to write a final speech expressing our feelings about high school in the future, I did not know what I wanted to say. So many of my classmates are crafting intricate analogies and anecdotes, ways to relate to the high school experience. However, I struggled to write this speech. I sat and tried to think of cute references I could make or fond memories I could call upon. Maybe I could talk about the good old days of skating in the student section of football games, or when our junior homecoming float disappeared during halftime. But the tone just didn't feel right. Why focus on the past when everyone and everything around us is turning our attention to the future? We can no longer go back and change that B, C, D, or even F grade now, so why dwell on it? We cannot change that one monumental mistake we made, so why not take what we learned from that instance and apply it to the future? Instead of focusing on the past, let us instead focus on this last year, the present, and how interesting and complex it has been for us seniors, and what is to follow. It has been a year of expanding our academic fields, with some of us taking more rigorous courses, while others of us specialized in certain careers at the Technical Center. And others of us took various classes at KBCC or Western. Now, some of these classes may have been filler courses, but some of them were genuine opportunities for us to get some gen eds in that Mattawan would pay for before we have to go into debt paying for them ourselves. But these classes, they helped us transition into the future. They gave us an idea of what we want to do next year, whether that be continuing our education or maybe joining the military or the workforce. It has been a year of employment, with some of us entering into our first or maybe second jobs and having to balance working multiple shifts with writing a speech, reading a book, and creating a few projects. Yet, we handled the stress, and we made a balance between our jobs and school, because soon we will have to be supporting ourselves. It has been a year of recovery and resilience, overcoming the loss of family, members of the community, and our peers. Loss is never easy, and we as a class have been through more than our fair share these past few years. It is our responsibility to honor the lives that they lived and know what our lives mean in their passing. It has been a year of being a senior. Not this glorified portrayal of being a senior that we'd heard about, but a year of working hard. Being a senior requires that we try to figure out what we want to do with no real clear picture of what that is. Or maybe we were one of the lucky ones and we know exactly what we want to do. No matter what the next step may be, it requires us to trust the unknown and to stop and take a breath when we are overwhelmed. It has been a year, but what about the future? What about this next chapter we're seemingly working towards? So many people continue to ask me, so Anni, what's next for you? What's the next phase of your life? What are you going to study? What do you want to do with what you study? I've always been ready with an answer. I want to be a lawyer, but I don't know if that's honestly true. I felt this obligation to have an answer, to give to my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents, my family members, my peers, my teachers. But I needed to ask myself why I felt that I had to have an answer. I think the only piece of wisdom that I have to share with you, because as my father will readily tell you, and I'm sure your parents would all agree, seniors don't always make the wisest choices, is that it's okay to not have a clear picture for what we're going to do in the future. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what my next step should be, which is both terrifying, but in a way, it isn't. Sometimes it is the uncertainty about what lies ahead, this nervousness we feel when we don't know if we've made the right choice, that scares us about the future. But for right now, I'm very happy to put aside this unease and to trust in the education and life experiences that we have all learned. Instead, let us relax in this moment, take that breath, and say goodbye to those we've grown up with over the last 12 years. Some of you I have known very well, sharing inside jokes with, or maybe answers to last night's homework. And some of you might not even know who I am. To those individuals, I say, hello, I'm Anni, your class president. You'll be hearing from me in about 10 years for our class reunion. But to everyone, to the class of 2017, I say thank you. Good luck in whatever endeavors lie ahead. Rejoice in your successes, but learn also from your failures. And for now, goodbye. Thank you.